Hey folks, if you are all concerned, like I am, about the upcoming American elections from the top of the ballot to the bottom and wondering what young people can and should be doing in it, then maybe this video is for you. Or maybe you've seen the terrific film Girl State with some trenchant statements from Brooke Taylor, who's just terrific. Or you're now watching Citizen Nation on PBS and you think it matters. If so, if you care about young people and civic engagement, then let's chat about it. But this post is going to be a bumpy ride for some, but let's dive into it. I'm Tad Sturmer. I teach public history at Johns Hopkins University. I'm the film and digital media editor of the Public Historian Journal, and I am a scholar of the American Revolution. So let's talk about two current youth initiatives that claim to prepare young people for civic engagement. Let's compare and contrast. On the one hand, we have the Anne Frank Youth Network, and on the other, History Made by Us. Spoiler, one's doing the work. The other, not so much. The Anne Frank Youth Network. They're out here getting young people into the real fight. They're not sugarcoating democracy. They're not pretending civics is just some feel-good group project. No, they get young people to engage directly with tough, urgent issues, like their advocacy in the European parliamentary elections this year, with campaigns like #VoteWithMemory that connect history to present-day political realities. It's clear-eyed, it's meaningful, and it is, something I love, unapologetically about advocacy. That's public history in action. That's holding the past accountable in the present, empowering young people to shape the future based upon a firm foundation of how we got from then to now and what might happen next if we use the wrong information to make the wrong decisions. Now, let's talk about History Made by Us, an organization that I worked with a little bit in the past, but has, I think, veered dangerously from the kind of things that we should be doing. It claims to engage Gen Z in American civics, but it's a fluff piece. It's a happy place where they wave off the hard conversations to keep things light and peppy. I can't imagine what their version of the Continental Congress is going to be like. No substance, no confrontation of the crises our civic institutions are in, and no acknowledgement of the very real threats that young people need to understand if they are going to push for change. It's like they're saying, hey kids, just trust the system, everything will be fine, and the more you know about the system, the better off we'll all be. By the way, limit your TikTok post to 60 seconds and do a dance. It's a masterclass in reinforcing the status quo, a broken status quo, propping up a civics framework that's falling apart without telling young people the truth about how to fix it. That's not public history. That's history as a fantasy camp. Public history isn't supposed to make you feel warm and fuzzy. It's not a comfortable place. It's supposed to tell hard truths and equip people, especially young people, to confront the failures of the present with the tools of the past, experience matched with reason. That's what the Anne Frank Youth Network gets absolutely right. It shows how history can shape advocacy, how memory can be a weapon in the fight for democracy. History Made by Us, skip that part, because it's afraid, like so many public history and heritage efforts in the United States, it's afraid to alienate anyone. Or worse, it believes everything's just fine. And maybe it's because the Anne Frank Youth Network is based in Europe, right? I mean, it's tied to the site of loss and conscience that is the focus for us all, the Anne Frank House. We can all get that. And over there, memory carries real weight because it is still living memory about what was almost lost forever. Entire communities, freedom, lives, because of Nazi atrocities across the West and Soviet occupation in the East and Baltics. Memory isn't just a buzzword, it's survival. It means understanding what happens when democracies crumble, knowing how to go ahead and put them back together to make them stronger in the broken parts, and then knowing what it takes to keep that collapse from happening again. So here's the takeaway, in my humble opinion. If public history doesn't challenge you, it isn't doing its job. We need to support the initiatives that are in the trenches, not the ones giving out participation trophies. The fight for democracies isn't a photo op. It's a battle. And Frank Youth Network, take a look. History made by us, give it a pass. Either way, choose wisely and vote with memory.